Yo guys, what up? So in this video, I made my own little trackers here. I basically went on to Google search motion camera trackers and basically printed out these and threw them on the back of the pieces of cardboard here. And I made a whole bunch of them. So I threw them in my bag. I was at the train station, threw a couple on the floor, and I wanted to see if it's going to really help out with my tracking as far as getting a good tracking mode. So let's look at this video here. And I basically got some good results. Take a look at this. All right, guys, so I basically imported my footage, broke it down into sequences inside of Blender. You guys know how to do that already. If you don't, I do have other videos on my channel about that. Make sure we set up our scene here. We got to get our frame rate right. I shot everything in 30 FPS, and this was a vertical video, so it is going to be 1080 by 1920. Then after that, we're going to go ahead and load in our footage. Now, all my footage I shot was in log, so I do need to switch that from log to sRGB just for the viewer so I can see it a little bit better. And here are my tracking markers here. I just threw 3 of them on the floor, and you can already see how contrasted they are compared to the background, which is really going to help out our tracking a lot more. So basically, I'm going to set up 3 trackers here. I'm going to get 3 good solid tracks here. I'm going to prefetch my data and go ahead and set up my scene. And then I'm going to switch this to blurry footage. And then I'm going to go from location to perspective because I am at a slight perspective. I'm going to check normalize. And then I'm going to change my correlation to 0.9. So here we're just going to go ahead and drop on our 3 trackers, 3 tracking markers on our markers. All right, so I'm going to quickly save this file really fast. We got all 3 of our markers on there, and I'm going to go ahead and just basically track forward. Trackers are sitting on there pretty nice. They're sticking really well. I'm really happy with the results. And right when I say that, one of them falls off, but it's all well, no problem. All right, so we're gonna repeat the same process, but we're gonna track backwards. So I'm gonna add 3 more trackers on top of these markers here, and then we'll track them backwards. And they're sticking nice and solidly. They stayed on all the way on the back. And the next one, I'm gonna probably put 8 of these down on the ground because again, we need 8 trackers to get a good solve. So I probably should have put 8 down. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and just do a general detect features, and we're just gonna leave everything at stock. I'm just gonna go to the beginning of the frame, throw a bunch of trackers on there. We're gonna track this forward. Once this is complete, we're gonna go from the back, drop a bunch of trackers on, hit detect features, and then track backwards. And then we'll repeat one more time. We'll go in the middle, drop a bunch of trackers and track backwards, go back to the middle, and then track forward. And we're just basically, that's the Ian Herbert method, just ramming a whole bunch of trackers in there, but I get good results doing that. All right, that stuff's all done in there. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna select my focal length. I'm gonna select all 3 of my refines here, and we're just gonna go ahead and get a solve here. And let's go back and make sure everything looks good. I think everything looks fine here. I'm gonna choose my A-B point for my keyframes, basically trying to find out where the most parallax is happening in my shot. I just try to get where the blue line is the longest and where the red line is the longest. It kind of helps sometimes for me to get a better track, but hey, you can also hit keyframes and it'll do it automatically. From there, I'm gonna go ahead and hit solve motion, camera motion. All right, so our first error was a 3.68, not that bad, not that good. I'm gonna try to mess with my keyframes a little bit more and see if I can get a better solve out of that. All right, boom, we got a 0.54. That's actually really good. I think I'm liking that right there. So you know what, I still might do, let's go ahead and save. And I still might do a little bit of cleanup on some of these because you just never know. And I'm also going to save another version of this just in case I want to revert back to this. So let's go down to my cleanup tab. I'm going to go ahead and hit delete tracks. And I'm going to start off with 0.9 or 9. We're going to start off with 9.0. Hit clean tracks. It's going to delete all the 9s. And let's go ahead and resolve that again. Okay, we got a 0.61. Not bad. Let's go ahead and just see if we got any rogue trackers down here. Anything that's looking really out of place or crazy that's not following the flow. And it does look pretty clean, so it looks like I think we're okay on that. Let's go back here to our error and change it to 7. I'm gonna go 7, clean tracks, and let's resolve that. All right, so we're down to a 0.51, which is actually pretty good. I'm gonna go to a solve error 5, clean tracks, and solve again. Kind of stayed the same. We're still at a 0.5. Let's go error 4, clean tracks, go ahead and solve again. Okay, it stayed the same, 0.5. Didn't really change too much. I think it should have changed, but you know what? Let's just go down 0.3, clean. You know what? I think I forgot to hit clean tracks on that one here, 0.5. Let me look over here. We still got a lot of 0.8, so I think we can go lower. Let's go 0.1, clean tracks, and solve. Okay, there we go. It pushed it down to a 0.46. I like this. Let's go even lower. Let's try a, let's see. I see a rogue 3 here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. This tracker, we got a 3. Let's get that out of here. And let's resolve with the minus the 3. Okay, 0.46, it didn't really change. Okay, let's go 0.8. Let's go 0.8, clean tracks, and solve again. Okay, down to a 4.2. We're at a 4.2, and let's push it a little bit farther. Let's go 0.5, clean tracks, and solve. Oh, there we go. I like it. 0.32. I like that. Let's go ahead and save that also. So I like to shoot 4.3. I'm going to go ahead and solve it now. We'll go set scene background and set up tracking scene. You know what? Let's go ahead and set our origin point right about there. And let's also set up our ground plane. We need to select 3 points for our ground plane. There's 1, 2, and we need 1 more here. All right, so I need 2 points here. I'm gonna set my distance here. I did a little bit of math. It's gonna basically be 279, because what I also did was in between the 2 markers, I had made sure they were exactly a foot apart using my shoe. And then I knew that was going to be the distance, and basically I turned that from foot to meters, and it basically came out to 0.27, and now I got my distance scale set. Then we set our ground plane and hit our floor, and then I'm going to go up here, make a new tab. I'm going to jump into a new layout just to get a fresh clean slate, jump into the camera here, and now we're going to orientate the camera. Alrighty here, so let's see, everything's set up. Let's jump into my camera. But one thing you need to make sure you do, which I didn't do earlier, is when you go to your camera, it won't line up. You have to come in here to camera, go all the way up here to where it says camera, click on this and make sure you turn this from auto to horizontal. This is what's needed if you're doing vertical video. 1080 by 1920 vertical video for reels and stuff, you need to change this to horizontal, otherwise your track won't line up. And I'm going to orientate it. I'm going to go select 3D cursor with my camera selected. Now I'm going to basically just rotate to align my axes to try to get the grid to line up with what's in the actual video here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all lined up. And this is where most people struggle. I figure it's easier just to grab the camera, put it to 3D cursor, and then get everything sized up that way here. I'm just going to try to get this ground plane to line up to something in the scene here. And my lines are looking pretty clean at the moment here. Nothing looks too off. I'm thinking just a little bit of a couple adjustments here. Aligning here, just trying to get my Y axis to see if it's lining up with the scene. And that looks pretty solid there. Okay, I'm liking just a little bit of tweaking here. And then what I'm also going to do is probably do the same thing with my X. Let's just slide the X up and to see if this is lining up to the scene here. I'm going to use this crack in the ground here, and you can see it's just a little bit off. Let's make a little bit of adjustments here to get that lined up. And of course my Y won't be exactly lined up, and I don't know how straight these lines are actually on the ground here, this piece of extra asphalt they added. So but let's kind of line it up here with the curb, because we know that's probably a little bit more straight than this asphalt marking is here. And I'm liking that. That looks good there. I'm thinking this is going to work out pretty good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and center this back up on where my tracking markers were, because whatever I'm going to use, I want to have something to block my tracker markers here. And I'm actually going to line this origin right here on the top of this tracker. All right, that's looking pretty solid here. Now I'm going to go switch back to medium point. Don't forget to switch that back. I'm going to go ahead and save. And now we can go ahead and adjust our ground plane to however we want it to our scene. And pretty much this is pretty much like as far as tracking it. Now is just the fun part begins, adding in your CG elements and things that you want to add. Now, one thing you can't forget here, make sure when you go onto your camera, you need to switch it from auto to horizontal, especially if you're doing vertical video. Your track won't line up, and when you're doing vertical video, you have to change that camera mode. But for normal tracking, a normal 1080 stuff, you don't need to worry about doing that. But when you're doing vertical, you need to change that to horizontal. And I'm going to quickly make a proxy video so we can get smoother playback. I'm going to set this to 50%. You're going to turn on proxies. We don't need original, and hit build proxy. And that's just going to make a lower grade video, so I can put that in the camera and I can get full playback at a good frame rate instead of it's struggling right now. All right, I'm going to jump back to the layout here, and let's jump into our camera. I'm going to switch up to cycles here. I'm going to turn on my GPU. I'm going to jump into the shader editor here, and I'm going to put a material on the ground plane. I want to put the same video on the ground plane so I can have that reflect its color also onto my CG, whatever I put here on the bottom. So easy, just make sure you plug this into window, then you go ahead and load in your video. All right, so I got my video loaded in here. Make sure you also turn on auto refresh. All right, and now I'm going to turn on some world lighting because we can't see anything. We need to add, I'm going to add an HDR environment. Again, something that was matching what my scene looked like. It was a cloudy day, so I'll probably just throw on a cloudy HDRI. And I'm going to activate my proxy, go to 50%, render undistorted, turn opacity up. And now I have my background is being projected onto my ground plane. You can clearly see here it wasn't lining up. Okay, so I did a little bit of playing here. I added this cardboard box in here just to kind of add something to the scene here. But one thing you need to make sure you do, which I didn't do earlier, is when you go to your camera, it won't line up. You have to come in here to camera, go all the way up here to where it says camera, click on this and make sure you turn this from auto to horizontal. This is what's needed if you're doing vertical video. If you're doing 1080 by 1920 vertical video for reels and stuff, you need to change this to horizontal. Otherwise your track won't line up. If you're doing standard video, you won't need to change this. Again, Blender's tracker seems to be a little bit daunting, but it's actually not, and it's actually very powerful, right? And it's free on top of that. If you guys want to know more about tracking, take a look at this video here. I'm going to go through the same process again, just in case you missed anything. Take a look at this video. Catch you guys in the next one. Keep filming. Patrick LeVar. Peace.